Thank you for being with us. All right, we got, I'm jumping in here real quick. I got Scott. He is down on site in Texas at the Alamo, so we're not going to waste any more time. Let me get everything set up here, 3 and 4. We're going to jump right on in with Scott. If I can get this right. All right, what is going on, brother?
What's happening, my friend?
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry, it's once again busy, but now we find ourselves in Texas, 82 beautiful degrees. I thought I'd take the opportunity while I was down there doing some work to do a live show from the Alamo. Got my son, since the old virus came out, they're shutting down schools, so my 16-year-old boy and his buddy came down with. They interestingly asked me last night, "What's the Alamo, Dad?" So I don't know if you've seen on Facebook last night. Right away, I started ranting about the local school district and why the teacher's spending more time bashing Trump than explaining to these kids what the Alamo is. So long story short, now we're here today, and they're doing the tour now. I just kind of walked away so I could do the show with you as promised. So that's the last 48 hours in a nutshell. Me getting my butt down in a vehicle and getting down to old Texas.
Heck yeah! So you got the job completed, and then now you guys are. So it looks like
no.
Okay.
no, I'm waiting on parts.
Okay.
I'll be finishing tomorrow. So we were going to do this tomorrow, but then because, like you've known on some of my job sites with me, sometimes it's out of your hands and you're just waiting on parts. So they're going to red ship me some parts overnight, and then I'll probably I'll complete it tomorrow, and then we'll do some more San Antonio touring, and then we're going to take a big charter boat out on Wednesday, do some fishing.
Wow, it seems like everything's great down here because everything here is shutting down. I don't know if you heard, like all restaurants.
Down here, Mike.
Okay, all restaurants are done here.
Yeah, I was just following you. You said something about like in Chicago.
Now here, Indiana just did it. They like about 10 minutes ago. Like all bars and restaurants are done. They're talking about interstate travel next. That's why I was worried about you, and I talked to you last night, and I was kind of in a way joking, but not. And then now today we wake up and it's true. So they're talking about interstate travel. I don't know. I'll keep you highly informed on anything of the sorts, but it seems ramping up every 2 to 3 hours. It went from 250 gathering down to 50. So I'm seeing behind you all kinds of people.
Oh, there's got to be, I don't know, it's probably close to 500. I mean, I will tell you, when we pulled in just about an hour ago, a lot of the public parking downtown San Antonio that I would think for an 82-degree day would be, these are public lots that they use for work and not just people like me wanting to come into their city. It did look a little desolate, but there's hundreds and hundreds of people here at the Alamo. There's people all around. We went, going around to dinner and just traveling around town as we were coming in. If there's a panic going on, they don't know it in Texas, or at least down this far south, and maybe the temperature has something to do with that.
That's good to see.
Is this virus a flu? Is it a flu, or is it I don't know. I don't know. I don't know because they're not telling us what we need to know. I would imagine. This
time the boogeyman is we can't talk to it. It's something that's actually you can't see it.
Yeah,
it's in the air. It's
and the whole. Who started the toilet paper thing? I mean, if there's a panic, there's medication still on the shelves. I can still go get ammo. There's a lot of things I can still get. But before I left, my wife went just to get, basic canned goods and some, meats and stuff. We have a newborn. We got a total of 7 in the house. And she literally couldn't find anything. But she was seeing people carrying out, dozens and dozens of rolls of toilet paper. Yeah. We've seen the problem, and the problem is us, one of them types of things. People are sheep, and they believe in anything they hear, but why toilet paper? I still don't understand it.
No, and they, that's a good point, because they said, actually, if this was done smartly at all, like whoever put that out, like a little bump into the media about a week ago, all it would have took, and it could have been possibly, if this was done by the right people and put out there's a shortage on toilet paper. And then instantly people are out there and they, like you said, they didn't know why. And then while they're there stocking on non-essential, like you didn't really need toilet paper, they'd get a little bit of food. So the food, at least the food, because if they would have done it the other way and said canned food shortage, everyone would have ran out and got canned food and you wouldn't have got no food, but there'd have been plenty of toilet paper. So whoever did that actually did it in a kind of a right way. So nobody got all the food because there was plenty of food. People would get the normal food, but they were stocking up on toilet paper. Toilet paper wasn't invented until 1920. Two-ply, good two-ply, 1920. I looked into it, and we survived great up until then.
Yeah.
Get a Green Bay Packers shirt, you know.
Yeah, right. I've seen that on Facebook, too. And that's kind of what I want to just, I'm like, Jesus, man, if you're a single guy or gal, and or if you got just one or two people in your family, what business do you have going out and getting 14-year supply of toilet paper? If it's that bad, you know what I mean? If it's that bad, you're going to be dead before you get to use that last roll of Charmin. So relax. Get a month's supply or something. If you've been listening to the news, they're saying, 3 to 4 weeks, and they expect, but even if you kept 2 months supply, but you going out and buying 14 years worth, I'm going to have to come get it with some of my lead, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's
idiotic, man. I mean,
what do you think? And it sucks.
It's scarce.
Well, and we're not able to get the numbers. We have to rely on the government, the CDC. We're not collecting the data. It seems great where you're at. Like everyone's just enjoying life still, which is awesome to see. But what is your take? I mean, what do you think? This came out of nowhere, and it really, we can see how vulnerable our system is. Whether it's real or not, things are happening all around us, right? Like shutdowns and kids are out of school. They're talking about jobs next, man. I mean, no more than 250 gathering. Now it's down to 50. So small business owner, Jason, the bar we've gone, 5-star, done until April 16th. April 16th.
That absolutely kills them. Here's my take on it. I wasn't nervous at first, and I'm only nervous for 2 reasons. One, I have a wife and children, and you just never know how bad things can get. But the other thing that made me nervous was you have all these billionaires, big players, Fortune 500 owners and companies that are walking away from massive profits. That should be a red flag. You don't see that in America. People don't walk away from money or profits. So if they're walking away from that kind of money, is there a real scare? And if there is a real scare, are they really going to tell us that? I think not. I don't believe that anybody in their right mind would panic the people. I just don't. I mean, if millions or even hundreds of thousands could potentially get sick and die from this, they're not going to tell you that. Why wouldn't they? Hysteria. Americans have used floods and tornadoes and other reasons to go out, rape, plunder, and pillage. I think they understand, the powers that be, that they can't tell the common folk. They tried that, or what was it, Mike, 1920 or something? The movie War of the Worlds, or the radio movie War of the Worlds. And
people missed the beginning. People missed the beginning of it, so they didn't know.
Yeah. Right. So, and that started commercials, right? They put in laws that every 15 minutes at least they had to go to commercial. That way people could get caught up and say, oh, crap, this isn't real. Because they thought it was real, and people back then were jumping out of high-rise buildings or blowing their heads off because they were tuned into the radio and heard aliens are attacking. We've seen this before. So is it bad? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm protecting myself the best I can. My family is. My opinion is stay home, stay away, because you're not going to stop crazies. If other people make it their business to go to the next level, then there's not much you're going to be able to do about it. So the first line of defense has to be seclusion, I would suppose. And then obviously if people wander down the driveway.
EO2 Dave said that Trump's speaking right now, I guess. I didn't know he was on. Sorry, Trump. I don't know how many we even got in the room here. We got a couple, 300-400. EO2 Dave says POTUS is asking everybody to stay home for 15 days, I guess. He might be saying that right now. So
I'm all for that. Why? I mean, even
a little self-quarantine. You can't go wrong with it, right?
Right. I can afford to, but what scares the hell out of me, Mike, and I'm not trying to scare people, but once hysteria kicks in like this and people start running out of shelf foods or real needs, and or they start putting street value to TVs for some reason or shoes. We've seen this before. How long does it take if the people aren't supplied with food and managed well? Like these supermarkets should be limiting, and I hear they're going to start doing that now. But if you don't limit, then you're going to make it to where somebody can't get what they actually need, and then those people become desperate. And desperate people uh, obviously scare the hell out of me. So I
Yeah,
mean, it ain't the virus that scares me or makes me nervous. It's people being foolish, and then you're in serious trouble. So stay home
that's
for 15 days. Pack up on lead, buddy.
yeah.
If you got lead, you're going to be able to survive, in my opinion. I mean, from where we're from, come on over, man. I can hunt deer, catch fish. I'll wipe my ass with leaves. I don't care, but I'm not going into the city and making a big deal out of this. Although here I am standing in San Antonio, but man's got to eat. Came down here to work.
Yeah, no, that's great. That and I'm
And
gonna
I'll tell
keep
you
you
this,
informed.
before I came down, I didn't know it was this bad. Obviously, you know that, what was it, 48, 72 hours ago, I
Yeah,
got a
no,
phone call. This guy needed me. And while I was driving down here, you're communicating with me, telling me, it's getting worse. Well, now there's nothing I can do about it, so I might as well hang out here.
yeah, no. I mean, and I'm wondering if it gets even a little bit worse, food wise, for you to drive back and stuff like that. You guys are driving 6 states. You got us. I mean, what did it take you? 20 hours? It was a 20-hour trip, 20 plus.
Well, it was 18 and a half, but by the time
Okay.
you stopped 3 or 4 times, and we took our time getting down. We stopped in Little Rock for the night, halfway, but I'll tell you this,
Stop at the
both
Clinton
times
Clinton Museum while you're there, or
yeah, I kind of got ran out of town. I feel like I was being mic'd. My hotel room must have picked up some things, because we were told to leave briskly, I guess the word.
yeah,
But no, all jokes aside, in Little Rock at the hotel and local restaurant, and now here in San Antonio, uh, there's all kinds of toilet paper on the shelves. There's all kinds of toilet paper in my room. There's all kinds of food. I I'm starting to wonder if is it affecting colder climates where the flu is big. You know what I mean? This
gotcha,
is a
gotcha.
hotter, drier climate. I mean, I'm not a doctor by any means, but does the weather have something to do with it? I don't hear Mexico, Egypt, some drier climate areas complaining so much. But then again, am I privy to that information?
Yeah, no,
But
exactly.
I am curious. I would bet, Mike. I'd be honest. I'd bet that this this area right now, the Alamo, and I bet normally it's 3 times busier. But if it was real scary, why is there 500 to maybe 1,000 people wandering the Riverwalk and in the Alamo and doing these tours? This is a federal complex, man. Why isn't it shut down?
No, exactly. I thought you would have issues today. I thought I am very shocked. I'm glad that Scott's having a good time and actually working, providing for his family, doing the normal thing that everyone should be doing. But man, up in this area and the hype that's coming out, I mean, I'm looking at a breaking exclusive. They're saying the coronavirus fatality rate reported by the media is being completely inaccurate, and the actual rate
Sure.
is less than the flu. They're talking about the epicenter in China, the red dot, that more have died outside of that now than inside. And it's like, well, that doesn't add up to the normal standard of, you normally got the dot and then you got the red rings, and it kind of gets less and less. I don't know normally to jump outside and get more. So to me, that would be the media adding in fatalities of people.
Sure.
Like, that's a car wreck. Well, put coronavirus. He had a fever.
That's
I mean,
right. Well, I think they were reporting in Italy has the most casualties due to the elderly. I mean, the average age in Italy is, I don't know, quite a bit higher than the rest of the world for some reason.
okay.
I guess
No,
old people just,
old
and that's where a
country. It's
lot
the
of
old
fatalities.
country.
Well, yeah, there you go. That makes sense. But Papa Vino and the Don, they're dying off
Joey.
because they're older. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lots of Joeys
I,
and
I, I'm not real sure. Again, I'm not a doctor, but the average age obviously is higher there, and they have a higher percentage death rate, I suppose. You know, per capita, they're saying. But I don't know. I don't think anybody here in San Antonio's died yet, man. I mean, knock on wood, but
I'm getting a lot on Oprah. Oprah's house in Chicago, I think, got raided right now. There's red tape around it. They're talking about
no. Oh, really?
she had ties to Epstein, was it Epstein or Weinstein? One of the Steens. We'll have to report on that.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's too bad.
What a great right now. There's a lot of attention, I believe, Scott. I mean, I know sports got shut down, and then it turned to now people are like, oh, I want to know what's going on now. So if we do get laid off, or everyone's laid off, everyone's at home, people are concerned because that's happening. Schools are shut down. Your kids are affected. Your job it could be affected. You're not earning. Now everyone's paying attention. If it comes out that the media is lying and Trump's able to prove that, how valuable would that be, you think, to show like these people, not only did they lie, it actually affected your kids, your family, your wallet, and the Fed Reserve. Look what the games that are being played. I mean,
well, let's play devil's advocate. Wouldn't that piss you off? Wouldn't you finally? I mean, guys like you and I, we probably already assumed that. But if you're right, and I've already thought about that, so I try to get my angle right. If you're right, and that happens, then maybe this finally is the type of thing to wake people up.
But that would do it. That would do it.
Yeah.
And then maybe if you were to start doing some arrest after that, people would understand, like, yeah, arrest these sons of bitches, because because normally, it now affected their wallet and they're really ready for something. So I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. I don't think. I don't know how long. That's the scary thing. How far they are willing to push this. I already feel bad for the local business owners. Yourself, you guys are going to suffer. People aren't going to want anything. I don't want anybody in my house. If they're played into it, and you can't blame them. The toilet paper thing still baffles me. I'm still looking into that. Yeah, you're good.
Sorry,
you're
I
good.
hope I didn't just lose you. I had a.
No, you're
did I
good.
have a pause there on my phone?
It went black. Yeah, it went black for a minute.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm doing my phone, and I still am waiting for phone calls, but I'm hitting the decline button because I only have a little bit of time with you anyway. But so I guess where I was going to go with this was I was dying to get on air and talk with you and ask you and maybe everybody. You're going to be able to see the comments better than me. But is this the last chance to try to beat Trump? If the only way I really have been saying for the last year or so, if you wanted to beat him in a political race, don't you have to bring the economy down, because nothing else has worked?
Yeah. And Schumer called Trump a racist for wanting to shut down the border early on in this. Like a month ago, Trump mumbled, but maybe we should do a travel ban on China. Chuck Schumer, racist. Yeah. Now they're all conforming. Like, yeah, we need to shut down the travel bans. We need to do this. It's all accurate. So that scares me too, that they're lining up. So I think they're going to help and agree with Trump. And then once it gets bad and the economy crashes and people are out of work, they'll be like, oh, Trump, he's president. It's under him. Look at the economy. It's crashed. I don't know.
Well, what do we know about the media? Who owns most of it? It's not conservative. I do see one station more than others trying to calm people down, bringing doctors on saying this is not an epidemic so bad that this isn't the AIDS virus, this isn't the bubonic plague. Take a couple of days off, relax, quit dumping your stock. I mean, these stock investors are just as stupid as the people running out getting toilet paper. The worst time to sell your stock off is during a fucking crisis. So we not only do we have middle class and lower class people freaking out over toilet paper, we supposedly have millionaires and billionaires that are supposed to be smarter than us losing 20-30% of their net worth because they're idiots. So again, if I'm going to go along with you here a little bit, if this is a big play from the media owned by liberal Americans, billionaires, just to take over the White House, I think you're going to have a lot of people pissed off. So, but hey, they've done stupider things. I think the Democratic Party falls apart if this is actually just a big myth. Obviously, there are people sick around the world, but more people, like you said, more people have died from the flu. So here in this country, I'm not a Chinese expert or an Italian expert, but man, we've weathered a lot worse. Right now the pandemonium, and I hate to do this, I do, but the pandemonium and the urgency to go out and rape, plunder, pillage, and steal and take all the toilet paper you can get seems to be a little bit more insane and crazy than what 9/11 was, bud. Put that into scope. Thousands died. We were under attack. Those were harsh times.
And then remember Bush had to come out after 9/11, like I remember him coming out and pleading like, come on, get back on the planes and all that. Like
Right.
they had to convince people like, don't, people like, I don't know, the planes are slamming into buildings now. Maybe I can do without getting on one,
Right. I just, I don't know, man. I don't think any of us are going to know. I don't think I want to know, because if the truth is that they just BS'd us just to try to win this candidacy, the presidency, oh boy, it isn't gonna. Oh man,
everything good.
we have the. Hold on a minute.
Go ahead, show us some stuff.
Reenactment. We have a reenactment guy leading a little tour
platoon
group. Yeah, we're live. We might as well show. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, go ahead and go
See if we can get him in the background. Oh, he's gonna come right by me.
This is perfect.
Left.
You're 1, 2. Well, they're ready. Enlist them.
I had no idea that was coming through. That was kind of just like a special treat, I suppose.
That was awesome. People are like preparing for
time.
war. Something big is coming after seeing that, Scott. I mean, geesh.
Yeah, muskets with raccoon hats. Here we go. Oh, they can take our toilet paper, but they won't take our freedom.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, well, anyhow, I'm going to try to reach back out to you guys maybe tomorrow. I'm going to go. There's another site south of San Antonio. As a major history buff, I'm way bummed I didn't know about this, but it took coming down here and talking to the actual people that work here. There's 10 to 12 armed marshals, Alamo marshals, full-time employees. That's their only job, to guard the sites here. It's a big deal. When you walk in, you have to take your hat off at the cathedral. So anyway, just south of here, boys, you remember the name of that town that he said? Here's my son's with me. Owen, say hello, Owen, and his buddy Cody. These are local Hoosiers that made the travel. These boys didn't know what the Alamo was last night at dinner time. So I was so pissed off. Now here we are. We're not in school, but school's in session, if you know what I mean. They're not going to teach you. I'll teach you. But anyway, Mike, there's this place, and I'll get the name of the place, but apparently 400 were captured south of here right after the Alamo. They were captured, held for 7 days, and then all executed by Santa Ana, which is 2.5 times more people that died here at the Alamo. They're trying to tell me that the Alamo was kind of a big deal because there was a lot of civilian settlers that came here for refuge, yada, yada. But the biggest, nastiest massacre is really only known by Southern Texans and whatnot. So the learning that I even got here, I thought I knew the Alamo and the story. Some of it's kind of a myth. I'm going to hang out till midnight, see if I can hear the ghost of Davy Crockett playing his violin. I hear that happens, so that'd be kind of
wow.
neat. But anyway, I'm going to sign off because I only have a little bit more battery, and I only have so much time with my son. This is kind of a big deal that I've been able to travel with him. I'm not going to go away. I'll charge my phone. I'll chat with you later, offline, off air, offline, whatever. And I'll pick another little cool spot. And we'll go from there. But I do want to get this message out that everything in the South seems okay. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. But people, don't panic. Don't panic. Help your neighbor out. Don't buy too much. Get what you need and leave it at that. And hope that the next person behind you don't take so much. Right now is a good time to be civil and show your human kindness. Don't be that person that just wants to be a hoarder, because you're part of the problem. And if I see you doing it or find out I'm going to call you out on live. I'm not above doing that, and none of us should. We should hold each other accountable. Now is the time to just be American. We're going to get through this. This isn't the bubonic plague. So with that said, I pray for you, Mike. I pray for our listeners. I'm praying for everybody back home, my wife, Sherry, the other kids that couldn't make it with me. Super stoked. Don't let negative Nancy's and liberal media stop you from living, man. You die
Amen.
once, you live every day. You die once, you live every day.
Amen,
God
brother.
bless you, brother. I'm going to sign off here now, so carry on, man.
All right.
Carry on.
We'll see you soon.
Love you.
All right, brother.
Later.
That was Scott. How awesome. He's down in, well, you guys saw the Alamo. Thanks for joining with us. We're going to have, I believe, we'll see here. I'll just keep on chit-chatting with all of you here. So is Trump done talking? I'm going to look around here. I'm going to read a few articles while I got you. Give me a minute. That's great. No, that was a great signal Scott had down there. Man, brother, what is up?
How we doing, everybody? How we doing?
All right, a little surprise part 2. We got Woodman in. That was pretty good and quick. I didn't know if I needed to do something because it kept saying still it was Scott. So POTUS is not permitting toxic food to be delivered to grocery stores. I made it. We got Fluid Pour in the room. What is up? We got Grillin'. All right, I'm just taking a few. That was great. Did you get to see that with Scott there a little bit?
Yeah, quite a bit. I'm watching President Trump on television right now.
So is he on? Is he on right now? Okay.
Yeah,
he's
okay. He's
I'm gonna
suggesting.
bring him in.
All right, no more than 10 people in a gathering now.
Uh-oh, how many we got in the room?
Mike, you're bad. Hello, Scott, by the way. I don't know if you see me or not, but yeah, hello, Scott.
Hold on.
And Fluid Pour down there in Florida.
Okay, I'm going to quickly, on the fly, folks, I'm not set up for nothing. I was trying to get Woodman in with that. I had some issues with Woodman, so I finally got up the 2-panel here, and I didn't want to start dragging things around. Because these have white borders. It was really complicated, so I wasn't going to get pulled off quick enough, and I just...
Okay, he's still on, so we can get him right.
I got him. Hold on.
Put it maybe in a different way.
That?
A system that wasn't meant to do anything like this. We took it over, and we're doing something that's never been done in this country. And I think that we are doing very well. We took the system, we worked with the system we had, and we broke down the system purposely. We broke it down in order to do what we're doing now. And within a short period of time, and even now, we're testing tremendous numbers of people. And ultimately, you're saying it will be what? It will be up to how many people will we be able to test?
We certainly expect with the high throughput testing that that's no longer a barrier. The barrier is actually doing the test on a person. And I'm sure, as the president would inform you, in order to do the test, a healthcare provider needs to dress in full personal protective equipment. And there's a swab that's put in the back of the nose all the way to the back of the throat. It's called a nasopharyngeal swab, which is then put in media. The next person who has to get tested, that healthcare provider has to change all the personal protective equipment. When you put that in, it's highly likely a person coughs or sneezes, so you're at risk. So that's what we're trying to fix now by the mobile platforms, by all the things we're doing, is to enable sort of high throughput of this swabbing. And we're doing some technological things, too, that might be breakthroughs to make it much, much faster. But we certainly expect that from thousands of people per day, we will be at the tens of thousands of people per day this week, according to those who are.
But does the buck stop with you, Mr. President? Does the buck stop with you?
Yeah, normally, but I think when you hear this has never been done before in this country. If you look back, take a look at some of the things that took place in 09 or 11 or whatever it may have been. They never did. Nobody's ever done anything like what we're doing. Now, I will also say, Admiral, I think we can say that we're also getting this ready for the future, so that when we have a future problem, if and when, and hopefully we don't have anything like this, but if there is, we're going to be we're going to be starting off from a much higher plateau, because we were at a very, very low base. We had a system that was not meant for this. It was a smaller system. It was meant for a much different purpose. And for that purpose, it was fine, but not for this purpose. So we broke down the system, and now we have something that's going to be and is very special and is ready for future problems. I think we can say that very strongly. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. How close are you to shutting down America's northern border with Canada? And could you also speak to the fact about the elections that are supposed to be taking place tomorrow? Is it your advice that those states postpone those elections?
Well, I'd leave that up to the states. It's a big thing, postponing an election. I think, to me, that really goes to the heart of what we're all about. I think postponing an election is a very tough thing. I know they're doing, because they've been in touch with us, they're doing it very carefully. They're spreading people out at great distances, as you can see. And I think they'll do it very safely. I hope they do it very safely. But I think postponing elections is it's not a very good thing. They have lots of room in a lot of the electoral places, and I think that they will do it very well. But I think postponing is unnecessary.
On the northern border, sir, how close are you to shutting?
We think about it. We think about it. If we don't have to do it, that'll be good. We have very strong emergency powers when it comes to something like this, both on the southern and the northern borders, and we are talking about different things, but we'll see. Right now, we have not decided to do that. Steve?
Can we get Dr. Fauci to talk about the vaccine trial today and whether the timetable for a vaccine is it possible to accelerate, or is it still 12 to 18 months?
So, thank you for that question. The vaccine candidate that was given the first injections for the first person took place today. You might recall when we first started, I said it would be 2 to 3 months, and if we did that, that would be the fastest we've ever gone from obtaining the sequence to being able to do a phase 1 trial. This has been now 65 days, which I believe is the record. What it is, it's a trial of 45 normal individuals between the ages of 18 and 55. The trial is taking place in Seattle. There will be 2 injections, one at 0 day, first one, then 28 days. There will be 3 separate doses, 25 milligrams, 100 milligrams, 250 milligrams, and the individuals will be followed for 1 year, both for safety and whether it induces the kind of response that we predict would be protective. And that's exactly what I've been telling this group over and over again. So it's happened. The first injection was today.
Sir, the market just closed down 3,000, almost 13%. Your response to the market close, sir?
Is pregnancy
Dr. Fauci, is there guidance for someone who may have felt sick but then feels better, so you had symptoms but you no longer do, the fever's gone away? How long would you stay home after that point? That's not clear from the guidelines.
Well, if you are positive for the infection, if you have coronavirus, it is less how you feel than whether or not you're still shedding virus. So the general issue about letting people out of a facility, who, for example, a hospital or whatever, who have been infected, you need 2 negative cultures, the same way that was just described, 24 hours apart.
The market will take care of itself. The market will be very strong as soon as we get rid of the virus. Yes.
Could you clarify about pregnant women? Is that an underlying? Because the UK said today that pregnancy was one of those underlying conditions. Do we say that too?
There's very little data in pregnant women. I think about a week ago, I said the reports that came in from China, from the Chinese CDC, of the 9 women who were documented to be pregnant and have coronavirus in their last trimester, delivered healthy children, and they themselves were healthy and recovered. That is our total sample size, and we will be getting more data from countries. While countries are in the midst of this crisis, like like Italy. I try not to bother them frequently to get us their data. We try to get it just weekly from the countries that are in the midst of responding to the epidemic so that their focus is on their individuals in their country.
Mr. President, any comment on what people like Devin Nunes, the governor of Oklahoma, have been saying, encouraging people to go out to restaurants, which goes directly against what this advice in your guidelines says?
No, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that from Devin or anybody else.
Should they stop saying that?
Well, I'll have to see what they said. But
They encourage people to go to restaurants if they felt okay with their families.
I would disagree with it, but right now we don't have an order one way or the other. We don't have an order, but I think it's probably better that you don't, especially in certain areas. Oklahoma doesn't have a tremendous problem. Oklahoma, you said the governor of Oklahoma.
Devin Nunes
And
is
Devin.
another.
Yeah, well, I hadn't heard that.
So should they be doing that, or should they not be doing
Oh,
that?
it's adverse to what the professionals are saying. That's,
And what you're saying in your guidelines,
Yeah.
that people shouldn't
No,
be
it's
going to
adverse,
restaurants.
but I'll take a look at it. Absolutely.
I don't know who would be best to answer this question, maybe Secretary Hayes or Dr. Fauci. School districts across the country are closing down, yet for the most part, daycare centers remain open, and considering that children can sometimes be asymptomatic carriers and go home to older individuals, are there any recommendations about daycare centers?
I'd prefer if one of our medical professionals discuss that, given that's a clinical recommendation.
That's a good question, John. In the original guidelines as they were presented, it was school, not daycare. I think it's very important. We should probably, if we have not discussed that, go back and discuss that in some detail about whether or not that's equivalent to school. It's a good question.
The question about the sort of underlying public health strategy behind some of these guidelines, telling people to avoid restaurants and bars is a different thing than saying that bars and restaurants should shut down over the next 15 days. So why was it seen as being imprudent or not necessary to take that additional step, offer that additional guidance?
Doc, you want to answer that?
Well, I think we have to say the data that has been coming out, and I'm sure you're all up to date on how long the virus lives on hard surfaces. And that has been our concern over the last 2 weeks.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Good. I just wanted to read. There's an answer to this.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Tony. He was my mentor, so I'm going to have to let him speak.
The small print here, it's really small print. In states with evidence of community transmission, bars, restaurants, food courts, gyms, and other indoor and outdoor venues where groups of people congregate should be closed.
So, Mr. President, are you telling governors in those states then to close all their restaurants?
Well, we haven't said that yet. We're recommending, but we're recommending things. No, we haven't gone to that step yet. That could happen, but we haven't gone there yet. Please.
On the election, you're saying it's a bad thing to postpone it, but if you've got the 10-person maximum, guideline, in a practical sense, can you have rallies? Can you primaries surely gather more than 10 people?
Well, hopefully this will pass through, and hopefully that we'll have everybody will be going to restaurants and flying and being on cruise ships and all of these different things that we do, and it will very, very hopefully be in a fairly quick period of time. But we're taking a tough stance. We may make certain other decisions. We may enhance those decisions. We're going to find out. As per the question that you were asking, some of those decisions may be had. How about one more?
On the cyber attack on HHS,
Yeah.
is there any reason to believe that they were trying to hack into the system and gather information from the system? And also, is there any reason, so were they trying to hack to get information, and also do you have any reason to think that it could have been Iran, Russia? Do you have any reason to believe it was a foreign actor?
So in the previous 24 hours, we saw a great deal of enhanced activity with relation to the HHS computer systems and website. Fortunately, we have extremely strong barriers. We had no penetration into our networks. We had no degradation of the functioning of our networks. We had no limitation of our capacity for people to telework. We've taken very strong defensive actions. The source of this enhanced activity remains under investigation, so I wouldn't want to speculate on the source of it, but there was no data breach or no degradation in terms of our ability to function and serve our important mission here. Thank you.
Mr. Vice President, have you been
what are you
tested
looking
yet?
for in another stimulus
Have you been
package, sir? Could you speak to that?
One thing Mike just said, it's very important to get out that this is for the next, what we're talking about, much of what we're talking about is for the next 15 days. Mike, go ahead.
Mr. Vice President, have you been tested?
I've not been tested yet. I'm in regular consultation with the White House physician, and he said I've not been exposed to anyone for any period of time that had the coronavirus, and that my wife and I have no symptoms. But we're checking our temperature regularly every day, and we'll continue to follow guidance, which I think may be a good place to land at the end of the day. And that is, as we expand testing rapidly around the country through the new public-private partnership that the President facilitated, we want the test to be available for people who have symptoms, people who have symptoms and are in vulnerable populations, and our healthcare workers, to make sure that they can have the peace of mind that they're doing their jobs and they're properly protected. And so our best counsel, the counsel of the experts, is if you have a question, call your doctor, call your healthcare provider, ask whether or not you should be tested, and that's what my family's doing as well. Let me just emphasize one more point, if I can. The President asked the task force to continuously review the data and the information that we have, not only in this country, but from around the world, to give the best guidance to state leadership and local healthcare leadership and all of the American people about how to keep themselves, their family, and their community safe. This guidance for the next 15 days is what our experts say is the best opportunity we have to lower the infection rate over the entire course of the coronavirus. Just as the President did by suspending travel from China, just as he did with travel advisories and screening from Italy and South Korea, just as we've done with Europe and at midnight tonight with the UK and Ireland. We'll continue to take very decisive steps to lower the spread of the coronavirus. But we want every American to know, and we would ask all of you in the media to spread the word of the American people that this is advice on behalf of the President of the United States to every American, what you can do over the next 15 days to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. And we're calling on every American to do your part, because together we'll get through this and we'll find our way forward.
Mr. President,
just one more, Steve, go ahead.
Mr. President, what do you make of this?
G7 video conference.
What was the upshot of that? And are you still going to be able to meet at Camp David? I think
Well, it looks like it.
And are you confident in their responses, as you are with
I'm
your
very confident in they're in a position that some of them are in a rough position, if you look at a couple of them, and some are heading toward pretty rough territory. We had a very good conference. It was a teleconference. Everybody was on the phone, every leader, and almost 100% was devoted to the subject that we're talking about today. And they are working very hard. And they're very concerned, obviously, but they're working very hard. But I would say just about all of it was, Steve, all of it was devoted to what we're talking about.
Hold that summit at Camp David?
I think so. I mean, so far it seems we didn't even discuss that. It's still a ways off, but it was a very good discussion, and they have. There's a great camaraderie. There's a great togetherness. I think I can say that very, very strongly. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
For the airlines, do you think there would be a bailout?
They're like a bunch of kids that don't listen. He's like, I'm done. And he walks off the whole way.
Yeah, they do it all the time.
That'll never stop.
Yeah, they do it all the time. You know it. Yeah.
So what is going on, brother?
Boy, I'll tell you, everybody's talking about this coronavirus. You know, theory after theory is popping up like mushrooms everywhere, you know.
That's what I'm
saying. Stay calm, stay healthy, everybody. You know, I mean, really, no kidding. Stay healthy. You know, like everybody says, wash your hands. You should do that anyway. I mean, if you're going to, what's your health worth? You know, I mean, you know, stay clean, stay healthy. Live to see another day.
Canada's closing borders to non-citizens other than U.S. exempt. I want to keep that little friendship. I'm going to look around at some articles. Democrat. What'd you see?
I do like what Scott was saying about, you know, maybe in the warmer regions you won't see this problem.
It makes sense.
Good point. Yeah,
but
good
we got,
point.
yeah, people in Florida, I mean, we know Disney shut down and all that, you know. Actually, I was talking to Fluidport a little bit ago, and that's what he was saying. Yeah, schools are shut down and all the same stuff, I believe.
Yep. I've got my granddaughter during the day. They shut schools down for her, so. Yep, yep. I did get out for the last time today for a while. Kind of, you know, look around, see
For
what
the
people are
last
talking
time.
about. Well, for a while, you know, I have heart conditions, you know, and
Yeah.
heart disease. And playing it safe, everybody.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Just, I mean, what do you think with everything? Do you think it's real? Do you think there's actual people, or is it just the normal flu? Do you think the media is telling you the truth this time, but they just lie about Trump and Russia, and or do you think they're fake news? I mean, what is your thoughts?
Well,
It doesn't have to, you know, based off everything you're seeing, and you know, but again, it's through the
Yeah.
camera lens. You have not grabbed any of this data. You've only been fed it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, a long time ago, I said something about it could be where, you know, China developed this thing for like a war weapon of some kind. Then we found out,
Biological weapon of
yeah, we
sorts.
found out later that's kind of true. So anyway, I say it's a real thing. Just we have to be careful about the numbers you hear, because they just get exploded everywhere all the time. Trying to, you know, instill in you chaos and, like, you know, like everybody's been saying, going out and getting toilet paper. Toilet paper. Yeah, come on, man. You know, there's a good thing about, you know, Trump did say quite a while ago, you know, to make sure you have enough on hand for months at a time. And this is one reason why you should have, you know. I know I've got quite a few canned goods anyway. Mr. L is out right now trying to see what's still left on the shelves, you know. Now, they're closing everything down. Our Legion got closed down this morning. I talked to Wally, our commander, today.
Well, it's a state thing. They shut down all bars and restaurants. So
yeah, well, now the Legions, though. Now, Wally said he had heard nothing about the Legion, or, you know, nobody contacted him from the DAV or VFW in a local area to see if, you know, we shut down also. So I don't know. I can't.
We're a private club, is what it's considered.
Right.
It's a private club. It's under different.
Yeah, but we're almost all old people, so, you know, you figure that just a precautionary measure that our commander took, and I really stand behind him on that. You got to do what you got to do, everybody. I mean, you know, we will recover. That is the main thing. We will recover. We're resilient. We're Americans, man. You know, come on. We are Americans. You know, stand together. You can't be holding hand in hand, but be supportful in any way, shape, or manner that you can. Especially elderly people. You know, gee whiz, give them a call on the phone.
In this, you know, people are saying we can still go to the stores, but if the stores don't have anything, so are the stores going to start, you know, rationing because people that are panicking are going to buy too much, and then nobody else has any, but they got a year's worth all of a sudden? I mean, welcome to socialism on a very small scale here, folks. We're seeing that with the empty store shelves, possible restrictions on what time you can go. I'm just saying it's happening. It's being, you know, for whatever reason. Like you said, the commander made a good choice. I would back him as well. You can't go wrong. If everything around you, even if you come to the conclusion that you don't know if it's real or not, or if it's not any worse than the normal flu or less worse than the flu, then you would think, well, why don't we shut things down for the normal flu that's killed this many already this year? And it's like, well, we're this one here. You know, it's early on. Maybe, you know, maybe the numbers aren't adding up because they're not giving us accurate numbers because it's way worse and they don't want anyone to fear. I mean, it's kind of like if the asteroid was coming in, do you tell everyone you got 2 days and it's going to smash into the side of the earth? Good luck. What do you get after you go off air and say good luck to the whole 300, you know, the whole world, 7 billion people? So
yeah.
We don't know, folks. We're gonna just keep coming on as much as we can and updating you. we have, there's lots of theories, like Woodman said, going on right now. Which one, there's this time the enemy that is against us is not real person. You can't talk to it. It is actually invisible. It's airborne. So
different airborne.
It's a different kind of airborne, brother. Airborne. So,
well, and plus we have a vaccine supposedly for the normal flu type thing, so, that might have a little bit to play into it also, we don't have something like this for this coronavirus, which you can't sell me on that either, because if they've been known about this since 1998, everybody, there is a vaccine out there, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Personal opinion. But they don't develop those things without a vaccine right away, so they don't get it themselves. True fact. You say, Mike? You think?
Yeah. I was reading comments, now I'm all engulfed in this screen right next to my head.
All right.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. Do you want to talk to everyone for a minute? I want to go get something like a water or something. I gotta get something to drink. So I'm going to put you on full screen here. I'll just talk about whatever. I know Woodman doesn't have the chats yet. We got to work on that. I got his laptop here. I'm going to be getting back to him after the whole, after we're allowed to travel again, brother. And all right, go ahead. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I'll probably see him when he gets his hall pass. Everybody, please just relax. I don't care how, bound up you get, how tight, how nerved up you get. In all reality, it doesn't change one iota. So therefore, it's a known fact that if a person stays with a positive attitude, they remain healthy. So let's just do that. That's just what we've known for eons, I will give myself a little plug here. Pretty soon when Mike gets done with his travel band, he'll come over and he's going to show me how to do my own show. And so I'll be kicking off just a little bit. I'm nothing near like Mike at all. But there's times where I might be able to get on where he can't and get some kind of information out. We have to keep communication. Communication has always been the best avenue all the time, because when you have a communication wide open, people really know what's going on. If you don't have that communication line open, then all you can do is theorize. And a lot of times when you have nothing but theories, things get off kilter really fast, and then it's kind of hard to get it back. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay vigilant. Like I say, no kidding. Call an elderly person just to even have a conversation, because these are the people that are, especially now, they feel like they're really kind of like in a prison in their own home, and give them a little support, man. Call them, give them a little support. Uh-oh. Have my word, Michael.
We're going to be doing a little raffle.
You had to got that this morning because you didn't have enough time just a second ago, so I know.
No, I ordered this.
I ordered
straight
it
from the manufacturer. I'm just joking. They sent over some samples.
All right.
Just joking, guys. That's all I got.
I heard of a guy, Mr. L was telling me about. Some guy had a pickup truck full of toilet paper.
Oh, man.
A pickup truck full. What is he anticipating? Is he supplying his neighborhood, or what goes? We're going to end up having people are going to have toilet paper at home so old it'll crumble when they go to pull it out of the package to use it. Paper does deteriorate a little bit over time.
Yeah, it's not the new gold, folks. There's like memes going around, Woodman, like for the You know when you have like a coin that's a real fancy coin that you get graded, and then they come back in like a little plastic case. They're showing like people have like little pieces of toilet paper in there. They're like rated Gen 10. You know, it's worth 500, man. You know? And they're showing like memes of drug dealers like showing little baggies full of hand sanitizer. You know, $50 a gram. You know. It's all the new stuff.
I'm sorry, Mike gets my gourd sometimes, man. It's that little funny bone.
And then there was a meme like it was like showing Walmart, like Walmart's not out of toilet paper, folks. You just got to look a little harder. And it was showing like all the green Packer shirts or something, you know, depending, you know, whoever made it would get the team they hate.
Oh boy. Oh
Good
boy.
stuff. People have not lost their sense of humor, even if it is the end of the world.
End of the world, yeah, whatever. Oh man, oh man. I'm glad they don't take you seriously on that one there.
Oh, hold on, let me see if I can grab this.
That's all we need is for the Patriot Hour to start a panic. Uh-oh, he's back.
Let me see here if I can do this. What camera is that? I don't even have it up. Camera. Let's see this one. Oh, not that one either.
Got a little toy there, huh, Mike?
1, 2, 3. All right. No, I was just showing the chats. I got it in dark mode. It's pretty cool, right? So it's a black background. You'd love that, Woodman. We can probably do something like that for you, man. What's that, Woodman?
I know you'll fix me up, buddy. You're my brother.
Oh, yeah. So you see the warning tab that came on this monitor?
Yep.
What's it say?
I can't read the bottom of it, but see, Epstein, yeah, Epstein did not kill himself.
That way you know, folks.
How true.
So it looks pretty good for me to see on the blackout. It probably won't. There it goes.
Yeah.
So I can show you guys all the text. So there you go. That's how I get to see it. I can see the mods with the wrench. I can see the members and their colors and all their glorious colors. And then all the Patriots.
All right. That reminds me, Fluid Port would like to have a wrench if you give him one.
Well, let's see here if I got any more left. These wrenches aren't cheap, man.
We have great mods, everybody. Fantastic mods. The best in the business, according to our poll right here on the Patriot Hour.
All right, everyone let me know if the newest mod gets out of hand, we'll de-wrench him quicker than I gave it to him. I'm just
Oh boy. Oh boy. Turn them on to snitches.
These guys keep an eye on him, man. Just joking. Welcome to the newest mod member. Any questions or concerns that we can address today? I'm thinking tomorrow morning we'll launch. What is tomorrow? Wednesday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. All right, give me one more day to get everything sorted out. I'm still having some issues. I will not be on the panel tonight. And my other issue that when I went to get into the panel the last time, my camera setting. So I gotta figure that out. I gotta see how to. So hopefully by next Monday. And I told them that you might have been available, but I think they got it figured out for tonight.
Okay.
I had a great show earlier with Robert. It was a great, lot of information. Yeah, I don't know where this is heading, Woodman. I pray for everybody. You can't go wrong. If you guys, hey, when some things are out of our control. When they start shutting down schools, you might not like it, but guess what? Your kid's gonna be home. They shut down your job. You might not like it, but guess what? You can't force yourself into work. They shut down these restaurants. I had made the comment, what if these places don't want to? Well, we're seeing that on some articles that places are refusing to shut down. They think it's a violation of, so they're staying open. Now, I don't know how long that will last for them in their journey. I don't think many people will be showing up anyway, because they're going to there's too many law-abiding people. When the law tells you, government tells you, TV tells you, you listen. And I'm not out there defying store curfews. Walmart closes at 11. I'm not going to go there at 11:30 and break windows. I understand. There's nothing you can do about it. So actually, we are brought into the middle of this, whether you like it or not. I've always talked about that, Woodman. The New World Order and their plan. It was like, hey, they can go to a one world money. I don't agree with it. I could wake up one morning and they're like, there's one world money. Your money is no longer great or good or workable. And I could be like, damn it, I don't like that. But guess what? I'm screwed. They can cater in all kinds of stuff like that, right around you. But, some things, they, for example, try to tell you that, here's a alien or a UFO landing and these are aliens. And, maybe I think they're demons and I don't want nothing to do with them. That's when they talk about that old system, the New World Order, one world money, one world government, one world religion. And I was just like, how would they inflict that one world religion? How would they dupe the people? Well, that would possibly be like alien disclosure or something. These things are da-da-da, so just, you don't have to take that one. That's one that they can't force on you. Your own belief, your own mind. But some of these other things, they'll do it right around you. So, that's the point I was making. Just, we don't have control, so get what you can while you can, and stock up for 15 days. I typically have about 10 to 12 days worth of food anyway. So I bought a little more. I didn't get excessive. I bought a little bit more, what I could. All the meat was gone. I buy my meat in a different fashion all at once anyway, a couple times a year, so I'm not worried about needing meat on the fly, but it was all gone at the Martins down the road from me. There was plenty of toilet paper, but now the food, all the chicken, because I was going to buy some stuff on the fly, like a few things that somebody was wanting me to get, my significant other, my wife. But they were out, so I was like, we got plenty of meat. Just couldn't have, and I got some other meat. Not all meat was gone, but just your typical, like the hamburger that's all prepped and ready. The chicken that's there with 3 pieces for $6-7, all that stuff. But all the frozen stuff, still lots of food, and they were stocking as I was there. So who knows? But with everything shutting down, Woodman, I mean, the schools down to the jobs at that. No more than 250 in a group, down to no more than 50 in a group today. I mean, it's going quick, day by day.
Well,
so then last night,
10. You said 10 today.
Now it's at 10. Well, it was 50 earlier this morning by the CDC. So maybe
President Trump said 10 today.
10 what? 10. No more than 10 people?
At a gathering, correct.
Okay, so now it's 10. No more than 10. What if your family's 11?
Kick one of them outside. Let them survive out there.
Put them in the doghouse. Yeah. So then it was like, well, what about jobs? And they're like, oh, the CDC said it doesn't pertain to jobs. So you can work in a factory with 250 people, and then you're like, let's all go get a drink after work. Nah, we're not allowed, man.
Yeah.
So it doesn't spread. We don't have any proof it spreads at work yet, so keep working. But
no,
this is the early stages, and we know that it spreads at bar.
Yeah, they're working on that to supplement. It's like an unemployment type thing. What they're going to do. You know.
Yeah, well, how long can that?
This
So
morning, too.
you're telling me everyone's going to be out of work around the whole planet, and the governments of all the countries.
Well,
are gonna
I don't know
succumb.
about all that. Now, I do know
Yeah.
it's going to be for a temporary, time. Who knows? Nobody knows. I don't even think the president does. How do we know he's getting the correct information too? I don't know.
The whole shift of the people. I know government doesn't like large groups of people all organized and prepared. You're easier to pick on when you're a little person separate, so unions, that's why there's not a lot of unions. Our union I was formerly part of, 2,500 people. You can sway votes in an area if you all act in accordance and come to the same conclusions, and your union halls are normally pitching the one narrative, we gotta get behind this guy, and then next thing you know, all 2,000 a year are voting that way, and that can help win that guy in. That's why these politicians always come to the unions, try to get your support. It's a big group.
Yep.
So, but yeah, down to 10 now, so no more than 10. Don't get caught. I mean, that's just their recommendation. It's not being enforced by gun. But yeah, we're just chomping around at this, the information coming out, and again, some of it doesn't make sense. Again, I guess stopping work would be detrimental. They're not to that point yet, or it's coming. Maybe interstate traveling. Traveling. That's why I was feeling bad for Scott, because I was like, dude, they're like shutting down restaurants and all that. So how do you eat if you're driving 20 hours? Or
right.
My wife's got a boss or somebody they're sending up to Chicago for work. And I was like, I thought you guys put all the travels on hold. Well, so the last couple guys that flew, they're not doing the flying no more, but this is just Chicago. And I was like, well, they shut down everything in Chicago. How is he supposed to eat? If you're leaving from here to go there for 2 days or something, is the hotels even going to be open? Are they allowed? Hotels are more than 50. Are you allowed to be in a hotel now? Is that shut down? I don't know the extent. I don't know if any of you do, but
I doubt it. Guessing game all the way around. Like we say, just be healthy,
So what about your sports and NASCAR and all that? What's going on? What do you think about that?
It's been postponed and all that jazz. I don't pay attention to that stuff, but not a whole lot. But I used to watch the races every now and then, kind of have a cocktail or two and kind of relax. But
yeah, there's nothing. You're well enough informed to know you can have some downtime and you got it separated well. So I don't point fingers at anybody that enjoys basketball or sports or any of that stuff. It's just the moderation or whatever. But anyway, so what's the word or the buzz? I mean, you got buddies as well. I mean, what are they kind of? I've seen people on the social media like now they're pissed, like they're coming around like what's going on? They want to know.
Yeah, well, they didn't have the race. Didn't have the race last week because of that. I don't know how long that'll go on either.
There you go.
We
Despite
don't
order,
know.
Kid Rock's bar is refusing to close. There's one person. So anyway, go on.
Yeah, nobody knows what's going on for sure. I mean, truly, where would you get your information if you did think you knew what was going on? I mean. There's nothing but theories, all kinds of theories. Wham, wham, wham. They're like, arrows shot in the air, or it's like somebody sitting in a bar room, with throwing darts and they're at a dartboard and they're trying to figure out what this is going on. See, I hit that. No more than 10 now in a crowd. See, let me another. We're gonna lock down all the businesses. Who knows? Who knows for sure? Just stay healthy, man. Like we were saying too, if you are in a good frame of mind and are happy, you end up being healthier that way. That's a known fact. If you walk around, like a Democrat, and unhappy and blah, blah, maybe it's a way to wipe out the Democrats, Just don't wipe out the constitutionalists. That's what we are. a constitutionalist. I've got that disease. I'm a constitutionalist and proud of it.
I thought you said something the other day that somebody labeled you that. You got constitutionitis.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, constitutionitis. You betcha, man. Proud of it. Proud of it. We got to hold on. We have got to hold on.
We done. I'm gonna be looking into a few things after we get off here, which I need to do because it's already about that time. I don't know how long I've been live, but that was great. I had Scott on. I have you on. Got to wrap out a couple different things, 2 in 1.
Great.
Over
great
an
seeing
hour.
Scott.
Over an hour. Yeah. No. Well, it would have been great to have a 3-panel thing for the time, but I gave him that little bit of time that he did have to get out some great information. We got to see. It was great to hear that he's got all this stuff planned. He's boating tomorrow, going out on a fishing expedition, and things are just normal as all get out down there. I don't know, this whole 10 thing that's recommended, does that affect all states, or some states are just like, hell with that? I mean, it was definitely not the case at that federal building where Scott was. So
Yeah, no kidding. They were everywhere.
I don't know if it's federal or not. I think it would be the Alamo. It's probably a federal monument of sort. And I had heard that way. He said that the main thing did not happen there. It happened like 10 miles down somewhere else. But that was always the, everyone, that's the face of the whole Alamo down there is the building structure and all that. So
Right.
Don't buy pork, they're saying. Yeah, I didn't see nothing but a bunch of fish, honestly. So, Woodman reminded me. Repost. All right, you guys, we're going to shut this one down. Woodman brother, thank you for being here.
Airborne, my brother, airborne. Pray. Keep God on your side. Full armor of God.
Don't give up anything.
Full armor of God. That's right.
Don't give up anything to these people. All right, that was Woodman. Great as usual, folks. Thanks for being here. Look for another show later this evening at any time here in the next few hours. Probably just something I'll put out. Tomorrow morning, if Woodman's available, we'll do a live show pretty much early. We're going to go about 8:30. I might be live again at any point this evening for a tidbit. Still got a few things to work on here. I got to dig into a few things to be able to manage the signal I put out so it can work better for beaming in and getting on other people's shows when I need to. Because if I'm in a 60p frame and their whole gear is for normal, it just doesn't work. Okay, I will talk to you guys soon. Back here at the Patriot Hour. Make sure you're subscribed and always think for yourself and never, ever be spoon-fed all the lies. All right, we know the truth is hard to get out, and there's a sea full of lies. Sometimes to stumble across it and get the right information is very hard. It's the difference between people that lie to you or just sometimes, are wrong on some information. Big difference. Setting out with a lie and making sure you promote the lie, and then if you just respond on some wrong information. So yeah, I'm going to look into the whole Oprah house as well. I'm hearing all kinds of buzz, and if that is true, good. I mean, if it's actually happening. So Woodman, you can hear Oprah's house possibly raided down in Baton Rouge, Florida. Is it Baton Rouge? We'll have to check it out. Okay, you guys, God bless. See you back here real soon.